بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعزائي طلبة وطالبات شهادة الثانوية العامة قسم رياضيات لغات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اليوم سنتطرق إلى مراجعة عامة على الجبر and جيومتري بالنظام الحديث ثانوية عامة. طبعا يقال إن شاء الله بنسبة 90% يبقى في 4 أسئلة EC مقالي، وبقية الأسئلة طبعا تبقى multi choice. My dear student, look at the first example. Number 1. If NBR minus 1 equals 6,720 and NCR minus 1 equals 56, find factorial N minus R. My dear student, we know that relation between NBR and NCR. NCR equal NBR over factorial R. This example choose the correct answer 1, 2, 6, and 8. At the first, the relation between NBR minus 1 and NCR minus 1 equals factorial R minus 1. Therefore, when divided NBR minus 1 over NCR minus 1, therefore factorial R minus 1 equals 120. What is the factorial of 120? Factorial 5. Therefore, we deduce that R equals 6. Then, my dear student, we know that NBR minus 1 equals 6,720. Therefore, by substitution about R equals 6. Then NBR equals 6,720. What is the N? Which NB5 equals 6,728. Therefore, we deduce that N equals 8 and R equals 6. After that, we find the factorial N minus R by using calculator. Number 2, an expansion x plus y for all power 13. The coefficient of third term equal coefficient of, what is the term? 12 term, 11 term, 13 term, 8 term. Look at, my dear student, as the first, when we have expansion for all power 13, what is the number? How many numbers or total number of the terms must be equal 13 plus 1 equal 14. Then third term equals T12. Number 3. Choose the correct answer. E power theta I plus E power negative theta I over E power theta I minus E power negative theta I equals, choose the correct answer. Number 1, cosine theta. Number 2, I cotangent theta. Number 3, cotangent theta. Number 4, I cotangent theta. Don't forget, my dear student, these rules of E power theta I. E power theta I cosine theta plus I sine theta. Don't forget. E power theta I exponential function by trigonometric cosine theta plus I sine theta. Also, E power negative theta I equal cosine theta minus I sine theta. By substitution in numerator and denominator. Therefore, look at the numerators. We simplify cosine theta plus 2 cosines plus cosine theta equal 2 cosine theta. And denominator 2I sine theta. 2 cosine theta over 2I sine theta. Therefore, my dear student, we know cosine theta over sine theta equal cotangent theta. Why? Because sine over cosine equal 10. But multiplicative inverse of 10 cotangent. Therefore, answer is negative I cotangent theta. Why negative? Because, my dear student, 1 over I, don't forget, 1 over I equals I power 3. And we know that I power 3 equals negative I. Don't forget, my dear students, this is very important from the previous years, first secondary school and second secondary school. This imagine I equals square root negative 1. I square equals negative 1. I power 3 negative I power 4 equals 1. Don't forget this basis of imaginary number or complex number. We know that complex number z equal cosine theta plus I sine theta. What is the I? Imaginary number. What is the I? Equals square root negative 1. I square equals negative 1. But I power 3 negative I power 4 equals 1. Then in this solution, 2 cosine theta over 2 I sine theta. Cosine theta over sine theta, we know that equals cotangent theta. But 1 over I equals negative I. 1 over I equals what? Negative I, because 1 over I equals I power 3, and we know that I power 3 equals negative I. Then the correct answer, negative I cotangent theta. Translate to another example. Summation of from r equals 1 to 6, 1 plus omega power I equals what? 4, 6, 1, omega. My dear student, what is the omega? We know that 1 omega power 2, this is solving or solution of the unity of x power 3, when x power 3 equal negative 1, we have 1 omega power 2. Solution set. What is the relation between them? 1 plus omega square equals 0. Don't forget. Before we solve this example, we must find the feedback of omega. 1 plus omega square equals 0. 1 plus omega equals negative omega square. This notes before we solve this example. Omega plus omega square equals negative 1. 1 plus omega square equals negative omega. And we know omega power 3 equals 1. Omega power 6, omega power 9, and so on equals 1. Then, my dear student, this number, when summation, we have 6 terms. 6 plus omega square plus omega power 3 from r equals 1 to r equals 6. We have 7 terms, but from second term, omega plus omega square plus omega power 3 equals what? 0. Why? Omega power 3 equals 1. 1 plus omega power 2 equals 0. Also, omega power 4 plus omega power 5 plus omega power 6 also equals what? 0. Why? Because omega power 6 is omega power 3 equals 1. Omega power 5 equals omega power 2. Omega power 4 equals omega. Then the correct answer is 6. Now we are translate to another example. The rank of matrix A, the first row 0, negative 2, 3, second row negative 2, 4, negative 6, third row 3, negative 6, 9 is, choose the correct answer. 1, 2, 0, 3. Before we choose the correct answer, my dear student, we must read with good in read or good reading and think before solve. What is the relation between rank and row and column of the matrix? The rank must, if we have this matrix, its order 3, 3, has 3 rows, 3 columns. The rank must be smaller than or equal 3. Smaller than or equal 3. But when find the determinant of the matrix equal 0. When find by using calculator determinant of the matrix A equal 0. And the minor determinant also equal 0. Then the rank must be equals 1. Look at determinant of matrix equals 0, minor determinant equals 0, the rank equals 1. Another example. 4-person committee is to be formed out of 9 men and 3 women. Committees that contains only 1 woman. Choose the correct answer. 126, 1512, 87, 252. Before we solve, think. A 4-person committee. We need to form 4-person committee, but formed from 9 men and 3 women. Committees that contains only 1 woman. If we choose 1 woman, then the remainder is 3 men from 4 persons. Then the correct answer is 3C1 times 9C3. From woman, only 1 woman. How many women? 3. Then 3C1. How many men? 9. The remainder 3 from 4 persons. Then the correct answer 252. By using calculator, 3C1 times 9C3. We know 3C1 equals what? 3. But 9C3, 9 times 8 times 7 over 3 times 2 times 1. The correct answer, 252. Another example. In expansion, 1 plus cx for all power n equals 1 plus 20x plus a1x power 2 plus a2x power 3 plus an minus 1 x power n. 16a2 equals 3a2. Find the value of n and c. My dear student, if we have expansion 1 plus cx for all power n, when expand the first in c0, cx power 0, in c1, cx power 1, in c2, cx power 2, and so on. As the first, when expansion 1 plus cx for power n equals 1 plus n c1. 1 from what? N c0. Cx for all power 0 is 1. Then NC1C, coefficient of 1 plus 20x from the given. The second term, 20x. When expansion, the second term, NC1C. Therefore, from given, NC1C equals what? Equals 20. Therefore, NC1 equals N. NC equals 20. Therefore, C equals 20 over N. This is the first equation. My dear student, from expansion, when expand 1 plus Cx for all power n, the first term is 1. Second term, NC1 Cx. From the given, the second term is 20x. Therefore, we deduce that NC1C equals 20. NC1 equals N. NC equals 20. The relation between C and N, C equals 20 over N. This first equation. The second equation, 16 A1 equals 3A2. Look at A1 and A2 in expansion from the given and expansion from solving. We deduce that 16 NC2, C2 equals 3 and C3, C3. Therefore, we deduce that 16 NC2 equals 3 and C3, C. This equation number 2. From 1, we deduce that C equals 20 over N. By substitution, N equals 10. Number 8. If we have T2, T3, T4, N expansion of x plus a for all power n are 18, 144, and 672, respectively. Find the value of n and a. The ratio between T4 and T3 equals, from given, 672 over 144. We know that the relation between T4 and T3, T4 over T3, n minus 3 over 3 multiply second term over the first term from expansion, n minus 2 over 3, by substitution the rule, a over x equals 14 over 3 multiply 3x. Therefore, n minus 2 multiply a equal 14x. This equation number 1. We take relation between T3, T2 by the same method equals 144 over 18 by using the rule n minus 1 over 2 multiply second term over the first term, a over x equals 8 times 2x. The second equation, n minus 1, a equals 16x. This equation number 2. By dividing 1 and 2 equations, we know that n minus 2, n over n minus 1 equals 7 over 8. Therefore, n equals what? N minus 2 over n minus 1 equals 7 over 8. N equals 9. 9 minus 2, 7. 9 minus 1 equals 8. Therefore, n equals 9. This example very important from EC question. We have ratio between two terms, T4 and T3. and second ratio T3 and T2. We have two equations. The first equation has three unknowns, n, a, and x. Second equation has three unknowns, n, a, and x. We use dividing. Equation 1 divided by equation 2. We deduce that n minus 2 over n minus 1 equals 7 over 8. N equals 9. In this case, after that, T2 by substitution n equals 9 equals 18. Therefore, to find the value of A, 9C1, this T2. A x power 8 equals 18. A x power 18 equals 2. Why? Because 9C1 equals 9. Therefore, ax power 8 equals 2. From equation 2, a equal to x, therefore, x power 9 equals 1, or x equals 1. And x equals 1, we know that a equals 2x. Therefore, a equals 2. Therefore, n equals 9, x equals 1, a equals 2. This example, very important example. We have three unknowns, n, x, and a. From the given, we have relation between three consecutive terms, T2, T3, T4. Find the relation between T3 and T2 and T4, T3. We have two equations, we need third equation. Third equation, ax power 8 equals 2. To solve two equations, deduce n equals 9. N equals 9, we substitution about n equals 9, 9c1, ax power 8 equals 18. We deduce third equation, ax power 8 equals 2. From equation 2, we know a equal to x. By substitution about a equal to x, therefore, 2x power 9 equals 2. Then we deduce that x power 9 equals 1. Then x equals 1. After that, substitution about x equal 1. In equation 2, a equals 2. Then n equals 9, x equals 1, a equals 2. This example very important. Put the z complex number 1 over root 2 multiply 1 plus I inside bracket in the trigonometry form. Then find its square root in expansion form. My dear student, we have three algebraic form, trigonometry form, exponential form, three forms of complex number. If we multiply 1 over root 2 multiply 1 plus I, 1 over root 2 cosine 45 and sine 45, then z equal cosine 45 plus I sine 45. What is the square root of z? Square root z equal cosine 45 plus 2 pi r over 2 plus I sine 45 plus 2 pi r over 2. After that, if r equals 0 or equal negative 1, both r equals 0 or negative 1, in exponential form, e power pi over 8i and e power negative 7 pi over 8i. We have three forms: algebraic form, complex form, and exponential form. Exponential form, e power pi over 8i and e power negative 7 pi over 8i. We have three trigonometry form, algebraic form, and exponential form, this root z, this root z or square root z, we have two roots. The first root, by exponential form, e equals e power pi over 8i, and e power negative 7 pi over 8i. My dear student, by the end of the lesson, don't forget, complex number has three forms: algebraic form, trigonometric form, exponential form. My dear student, don't forget the basis of rule, very important to observe it before choose the correct answer. My dear student, I am very happy to spend such time with you. Thank you. Goodbye.